Well, first he could dance. Now he can make a V8 supercar sing, waltz, sing, Matilda. James Court, he's a very talented fella. It's on Gotta Be a V8weekend.com.au website. Some great little videos there. We'll mess around with the V8 supercar theme and some great prizes to win as well. You're taking a look at the Australian Formula Ford cars on the road here at Sydney's Eastern Creek. Jamie Whincup's been a busy boy, fresh from race 2. He's joined us in the commentary box alongside Aaron Noonan.
Thank you, Matty. First round of the year for Formula Ford, a really exciting time, and Brad Lowe will start from pole position. There's been 2 races run already. This is the 3rd and final one, and he and Ben Morley are going to square off from the front row of the grid. Ben Morley carries our in-car camera, but it's the Australian-built Spectrums, Jamie, that's really dominated so far this weekend.
Yeah, that's right, Aaron. It's an Aussie challenge versus the European-made cars, and, you know, it's always a good battle, even when I was back in Formula Ford in 2002.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Good field of cars. 21 cars for this first round of the championship. The genuine Ford Parts Australian Formula Ford Championship. Ben Walter rounding out the field in one of 4 Brytech Motorsport scholarship cars. That's a team, Minder Motorsport, with backing from Jason Bright. In this category, this is where all the V8 supercar stars come from. Yeah,
Minder Motorsport, Brew and Beasley run operation, and you're exactly right. These guys are all ready to go, pumped up. This is where you learn your racing skill.
Brad Lowe, pole position, has taken 2 race wins so far after qualifying second. Ben Morley in the Club Icon car on the outside of the front row. Paul Laskazeski and Adam Graham starting from the 2nd row of the grid. The start absolutely critical, and Brad Lowe looks to have made the best jump. Great start too from Adam Graham in the lead of the Brytech Motorsport scholarship cars. The run through turn 1, that's Blake Varney in the Autobahn machine. So it's all Spectrums at the front, and everyone needs to cover the line at turn 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Great start by Brad Lowe there. He moved out to the right-hand side of the track to get a good run through 1. Looks very, very clean at this stage.
They make the exit through turn 3. A 10-lap race. Lowe is the leader. Morley, carrying our in-car camera, sits right in behind him in 2nd spot. Adam Graham's next through. There's been a real explosion, I guess, of teams in the off-season in this category. Back in car with Morley. 29-year-old running his own team this year, a brand new Spectrum chassis. It's only 2 weeks old, so he hasn't had a chance to test it, but it looks like it's going okay at the moment. You can see there Brad Lowe covering the line down into turn 9.
Have a look at how much those cars are moving around. These guys they're relatively cool tyres at the moment, pushing the absolute limit.
Brad Lowe, the leader. Morley in 2nd, hooked in to the gearbox. At turn 10 and 11. This is 12.
Man, this is bringing back some memories. And Slipstream, as you know, Aaron, is massive down here. You watch, he'll get right in behind the toe.
Pulling up, he's pulling up now. He can make a run at it and go for the lead at turn 1. Job done, nice move.
No, that's perfect. Just a textbook style pass, Slipstream down the straight.
Good, one off in the background there at turn 1. That's fast out there. All the way out through the sand. There's 2 of them involved, in fact. That looks like one of the Cam's Rising Stars cars, the red and silver machine. There's 3 of them here this weekend. That's Robert Munnelly in the number 12 car, and he is not going anywhere.
That's a big off there at turn 1. Lucky there's a lot of runoff and gravel trap, and as you can see, there's about 5 rows of tyres, so that's very lucky.
It looked like Scott Pye was the other car involved there. One guy we're keeping an eye on is Nick Perkett, who was taken over this year in the Sonic team, the McGall team that won the championship last year with Tim Blanchard, who's now driving in the British Formula 4 Championship. But now we get to look out the back of Ben Morley's machine as he leads through Corporate Hill. This is the replay. Turn 1, 2 into 1, don't mix.
No, that's exactly right, Aaron. Yeah, you're perfectly right. 2 into 1, don't mix. Interlocked wishbones there, which is very common in open-wheel cars. And unfortunately, both of them have to retire.
It's a long way off the circuit there. And already, Scott Pye was indicating what he thought about it before he got to the wall.
There's a hand in the air there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he thought it was his line.
So those 2 cars are out of proceedings. Nick Perkett is the fastest car on the track. He's 5th at the moment and charging his way through. The leaders, Ben Morley, he's just broken that slipstream. He's a little bit further in front, but Brad Lowe just starting to gain at the end, and he starts to get right up to the end of the rev range.
That's the way to go. We're only 3 laps into a 10-lap race here, and you know, these guys are sorting themselves out, working out what the car, where it's handling good, where you got position over your opposition. As we see a nice pass made up the inside at 2.
That's Nick Perkett up the inside in the silver and black machine. He takes 3rd spot, so that's been a good run. That's not a good run at turn 2. Jake Chapman, so the Cams Rising Stars, that's 2 of them having shockers, and the front nose cone gone from the spectrum.
Yeah, that's not good. That's going to slow him down a little bit in a straight line, so you know, he'll be limping home from here on.
A couple of familiar names here. The number 3 car we saw, that's Lucas Dumbrell, the younger brother of Autobahn driver Paul, chasing Rob Story. Those 2 came to grief yesterday in spectacular fashion, but Ben Morley is in a really good position here.
Yeah, that was an amazing story there with Lucas hitting Rob, and I think Rob's got a new helmet on for today.
Yeah, he needed it after yesterday. Dumbrell launched through the air. Bradlow in a really handy spot here. Even if he finishes 2nd to Morley, he's going to win the round. And this is a new team, a 2-car Synergy Motorsport team. And this year, all of the Spectrum teams, there's satellite teams everywhere. There's the Cams Rising Stars cars that are, I guess, the main Spectrum squad. Howard Racing from the Fujitsu series, they're running 2 Spectrums. The Minder team, they're running 4. So there's cars coming from left, right and centre. And if you're this man, Nick Perkett, in the McGall, you're really outnumbered.
Oh, absolutely. You know, he's in big trouble if he tries to take on the lot of them. But as we can see from yesterday's result, Spectrum absolutely dominated, which, you know, they're really stamping their authority on Formula Ford here in this country.
Adam Graham just up in the slipstream there of Nick Perkett. And turn 1 in one of these cars is pretty fast.
Well, I used to, when I was in Formula Ford, it was the old 1600 engine, so I believe they've got a little bit more power now. We were just flat then. So I believe that probably now with a little extra horsepower, they'd have a slight lift and maybe a dab of the brake.
This is Paul Laskazeski, the 2nd of the Synergy Motorsport cars, sitting 5th on the road. His teammate Brad Lowe having a good run. In fact, he's just got by Adam Graham, so the perfect place for all of these young karters. Laskazeski coming back into the championship after a year away. And this is basically where the career starts.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Most of these guys would have raced go-karts before. Now they're into Formula Ford, and there's no messing around. Don't be fooled. All the V8 team owners will be watching these races, maybe on replay because of the days are quite busy, but they'll be looking at the young talent coming through, and, you know, there's opportunities out there.
Under brakes, turn 9, that's Trent Harrison in the Monza Motors McGall, one of the French chassis. They're outnumbered this year. There's only 5 of them. There's 14 Spectrums in the field.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? That's, you know, back...
That was Jake Chapman losing the nose.
Replay.
Down at turn 2.
That's, he's quite lucky there. That's a very cheap nose cone. Once you start bending those suspension arms, it starts to get expensive.
Morley continuing to lead the way. This is Blake Varney. And you can see Morley's just far enough in front that he's broken that slipstream toe.
Yeah, we're halfway through the race now. All the guys will know exactly what's underneath them, how their car's handling, where their opposition is faster than them or slower. So now it's going to be a very nice move down the inside, but he's chosen to back out.
And for good reason. Scott Holt there in one of the Howard Racing cars. They're running 2 cars this year, so Rob Story picks up another spot. That was for position 9, so that's been a pretty good fight back considering he started from 12th spot. Of course, he's the son of Wally Story, Team BOC, V8 supercar engineer.
It's fantastic from a Ford these days. You know, it's getting a lot more coverage. There's a lot more sponsorship on the cars, and they look fantastic as well. Back only a couple of years ago, there's more white cars out there than coloured ones.
Here's the fight for 2nd. Brad Lowe under increasing pressure from Nick Perkett. A little bit early to go too defensive here, but Perkett's definitely got some speed on board.
Yeah, you've seen Brad run down the inside of turn 9 there. It's actually, there's a couple of different lines there. You can run down the inside. That is somewhat the racing line. But yeah, he was slightly going defensive, and rightly so.
This one, though, turn 12 is critical, and it's no good for Lowe. He gets sideways, so that will give Perkett a free ride down the front straight as they end now lap 5. So we're halfway
Easy does it down the inside there, and as Nick Perkett got a bit of a toe at the back there at the end.
I'm sure in the back of Bradlow's mind was last year these two clashed on the run down into turn 1, but it's Ben Morley who leads the way in race 3, the genuine Ford Parts Australian Formula 4 Championship at Eastern Creek Raceway. At Eastern Creek, you're looking at the race leader in race 3 of the genuine Ford Parts Australian Formula 4 Championship. It's not Jamie Whincup with that Vodafone sticker, it's Ben Morley.
He might be the next Vodafone driver, I'm not sure about.
You can see there at turn in of turn 9, being very patient with the throttle and picking it up. He's got a nice margin now over the fighting Bradlow and Nick Perkett. Yeah,
it's actually nice. It looks like it's got a little bit of oversteer, a little bit of drift, probably a little bit more than he'd like, but that's what these cars are all about. They move around, no aerodynamics. It's all about mechanical grip and a nice drift through the straight.
It's a balancing act there through turn 1 in any type of car. Great to go on board. Constant readjustments with the steering wheel to keep the car straight. He leads by 1 second over Nick Perkett.
He's driving this thing absolutely on the limit. All he's doing is feeling the grip of the tyre, front, rear, a little bit of oversteer, turn in understeer, back to oversteer now, and use all the road. He's pushing this thing well, he's driving excellent.
Just running a little bit wide there, not a problem. The run now through 8 Corporate Hill. This is good fun.
Corporate Hill, yeah, drops away on the entry there, so you get a bit more oversteer than you'd like. And then this is one of the slowest corners on the track. Turn 9. You want to make sure you maximise his exit, get on the power early, get down the straight as quick as possible.
Bad news, Nick Perkett's catching him. He's taken 0.4 of a second away to the second split on this lap, lap 7 of 10. And it's all about pressure, Formula Ford. People talk about it when you pop up in V8 supercar racing as dealing with the pressure and being experienced. This is where you get a lot of that from.
You can see Nick Perkett there. He's just hanging on, He'll be able to get a slipstream from even that far back. If he can get up nice and close, he'll definitely make a move.
Nick Perkett was 7th in the championship last year, running with the backing of Walkinshaw Racing, the 19-year-old, and he's closing in here in Ben Morley. He's still got a few laps to go here too.
Yeah, just pulled 6/10 out of him on that lap. This car looks like it's coming on nice and late, and I'm pretty sure we're about to see some action shortly.
Here there, the 4-speed gearbox working pretty hard.
Yeah, you give it a good almost an over rev on the down change there. Exactly the same thing in the V8. Quick stab of the brakes, down a gear nice and quick, and generally you see the revs go a little bit over what you'd like.
Morley leading, Perkett closing in the French-built Magal chassis for the Sonic Motorsport team, running 3 cars again this year with Ben Small driving this weekend as well as Lucas Dumbrell, but Perkett really has got pace here. How does Ben Morley cover his line?
This No Fear car, as you say, has got some serious pace on here late in the race. What we don't know is whether there's any foxing going on. He may not want to lead last lap. 2 laps to go. He may let Perkett through and have a go at him on the last lap.
Now it becomes a case of watching the mirrors and seeing where the challenge is coming from. Perkett in the slipstream. Morley's going to make him work for it, but he's going to slip up the inside into 1. That was tight.
Almost locked wheels there at the apex, but very nice. Both drivers give each other room. Excellent.
So Nick Perkett takes the lead, started 7th on the grid. Bradlow back in 3rd spot from his teammate Paul Laskazeski in the 2nd of the Synergy Motorsport cars, but the lone Miguel has been able to get through the Australian-built spectrums.
This is a race right here. Bradlow needs to stay on him and try to slipstream down the main straight. This is the exciting bit of the race. If he can stay on him and get a toe, exactly what we're seeing here, that's almost race over.
That was the pass for the lead. Ben Morley hasn't quite been able to stick with Nick Perkett, who's just been able to skip away. Bradlow comfortable in 3rd, and if he stays there, that's good enough to clinch the 1st round of the championship.
Yeah, that's going to be impressive for Nick. You know, a Spectrum dominance yesterday. Looks like the Miguels have changed their setup and come out strong today.
Blake Varney in the Autobahn car, 6th on the road, just in front of Daniel Eriksson, who is about the only Cams rising star today not to have too much of a problem. Rob Story running 8th and Trent Harrison just in behind. It amazes me that the age of some of these Formula Ford guys. There are guys out there. Nick Foster, one of the drivers, is just 16 years of age. He's doing his schoolwork in between sessions.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? And one of the Howard Racing guys, Chaz, I believe he had to have he's only 15, from what I've heard. He had to get a special licence to compete this weekend, which is great.
Chaz Mostert, one of 2 Howard Racing cars. Here are our leaders on the final lap in the final race of the weekend. And Morley spending more time sideways than straight.
Yeah, no. Hey, Nick's done a great job. He's just got a gap right at the right time of the race, and he looks very strong. But I tell you what, Bradlow's not going to let him get away with it. He'll be pushing right to that last corner.
It's a handful over the back. Towards the end of 10 laps, Nick Perkett has made his move, just stretched clear on this last lap. Bradlow still lurking around there in position 3. There he is in the blue machine. But Nick Perkett really needs to put this one in the bag, because last year was a tough year for his first full season in the National Championship, but you always bounce back with all the knowledge that you've gained.
Oh, absolutely. No, very impressive performance by Nick and that No Fear Miguel. As you can look at that, he's got to add to a 7 or 8 car lead there, and he's going to win this one comfortably.
Nick Perkett bringing it off turn 12 in race 3 of the Genuine Ford Parts Australian Formula Ford Championship. It's going to be another long season of open wheel racing. We're going to unearth some future superstars, and Nick Perkett takes race 3 in style from 7th on the grid. Ben Morley home in 2nd, but Bradlow, he'll be really happy with 3rd because he clinches the round. Paul Laskazeski home in 4th, Adam Graham 5th. So it's a whole bunch of Spectrums chasing one single Miguel.
Yeah, no, another fantastic race in this Formula Ford category. These guys will go away now and learn exactly what they've learned, improve for next time.
No danger of you getting back aboard one of these?
Maybe, mate. I had that much fun when I was in Formula Ford. I've got this dream one day of when my V8 career's over, we all our mates get together and buy these cars and get out there and have a bit of a fang.
Let's recap the results. Race 3, Nick Perkett, the winner at Eastern Creek from Ben Morley and Brad Lowe. Back through the pack, Rob Story worked his way through to 8th. Scott Old in the Howard Racing machine rounded out the top 10 in the final race. We tick right back on through 18 finishes, the non-finishers, starting with Lucas Dumbrell and also Jake Chapman. So it's been a tough day for the boys from the CAMS Rising Stars program, but I'm sure Mike Borland and the organisation will bounce back in time for round 2 of an 8-round national championship in season 2008. So Nick Perkett takes the win. He ends up with some handy points. The next time the Formula Fords are back on track is at round 2. That's at Wakefield Park in Goulburn, coming up on April 5 to 6. So they've got a little bit of time to plan their moves in the next round of the All Open Wheeler Championship. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to all sorts of other things, and one of them is a brand new championship in Australia, the Mini Challenge. Our own Grant Denny's already been doing a little bit of taste testing.
Gee, Daniel, first drive of a Mini, how was that?
The first car that I could look over the roof on. That's a good start. Oh, they're a great little thing. Unusual car to get used to, very light, fantastic brakes, move around a heap. You'll fit about 97 of them side by side through turn 1, so entertainment value will be up.